So jQuery adding elements. Okay, so jQuery adding elements. So this is the concept to add new element in the runtime. Okay, so here are the four methods: append method, prepend method, and after and before methods. So using these four methods, we can add elements or content in the runtime. Okay, so append method, using this method, we can add content at the end of the selected element. You can add content at the end of the selected element. So for example, syntax dollar symbol selector dot append. So example is, so we have already one paragraph. Okay, so this is our example paragraph, sample text. Okay, so I want to add extra content to the already existing content in the paragraph. So already we have this content in the paragraph. This is sample text. Okay, I want to add extra content to this paragraph at the end of the selected element. So I want to add this content in this paragraph. This is extra content. Okay, so I want to add this content at the end of the selected element. So use this append method to add this content at the end of the selected element. End of the selected element means, so original text is, this is sample text, and this is the end of the text. So use single quotes or double quotes to add this content. Okay, and here selector P. So now, so this content is added to this paragraph using this append method. So this is the uses of append method. And prepend method. This method add the content, add that content at the beginning, beginning of the selected element. So syntax dollar symbol and selector dot prepend. This is prepend text. Okay, this content is added to the at the beginning of the paragraph. So beginning of the paragraph is, in this area. Okay, at the starting point it is added. Okay, so this is the starting point of the paragraph. So if you want to add content or element to the already existing content at the beginning of the content or at the end of the content, you can use these two methods, append and prepend methods. And next one, after method. Using this method, you can add content. You can add content after the selected element. Selected element. Syntax selector dot after. So I want to add one extra element. Okay. After complete the paragraph. So I want to add div tag after paragraph. Sample div. Okay, this div is added at the uh, after the select element. After the select element means, so I want to add one div tag after this paragraph. So use this paragraph as a selector here, and this div is added after the paragraph and before. This method add the content before the selected element. Syntax dollar symbol selector dot before or you can add directly content also. Just before method div. So these are the four methods. Using these four methods, we can add extra content to the already existing content at the end of the content or at the beginning of the content or after the select element, before the select element. So one example on these four methods. So create an HTML form, adding elements. So take four buttons, type equal to button and value equal to append and id equal to btn append. Four buttons, prepend btn prepend after btn after btn before. So for example, we have one paragraph, sample paragraph. So I want to add one extra content at the end of the content and at the beginning of the content. Or you can take this as a paragraph content. Okay, I want to add this after as a header, okay, at the beginning of the content. So take this library, script, document dot ready function, document dot ready function, dollar symbol, hash btn append dot click function, paragraph dot append. So I want to add this as a bold text. Okay. So now run this example to check the append method. So click on this. Okay, append. So after complete the settlement, right? Okay, sorry. So I want to add this. Okay, this is extra content. Okay, so this content is added. And for prepend, also same. Detail prepend. So copy this one. After, so this word is added as a header, append, and prepend. Prepend method we have to use. Okay, so this word is added at the beginning of the content, and this content is added at the end of the select element. The select element is here paragraph, and next after and before. So I want to add two div elements after the paragraph and before paragraph. Dot after div tag. This is my after method content. Next before. Okay, so now run this example. So here already we have one paragraph. Okay, there is no div tags. So click on this. So div tag is added after the paragraph and the before paragraph. So before paragraph also added. So two div elements is added using after and before. Okay, next. After complete this, append, prepend, and after before. So remove elements. So after add the elements in the runtime, so you want to remove that element. Okay, based on ID selector or based on ID or class selector. Remove elements. So to remove elements and content, use this method. Use this method, remove method. Use remove method. Syntax dollar symbol selector dot remove. So the selected element here will be removed. So I want to remove this div. ID is div 1, ID equal to div 2. Okay, btn remove. So remove button dot click function hash div1 dot remove. Okay, the selected element is removed. On this example, div1 right. So after, okay, this is after div. Okay, so click on remove. Okay, div1 is removed from this content. So like this you can specify the ID also. Okay, to remove the elements you can specify the ID in the remove method. Okay, use that IDs here. So based on ID or class name. Okay, txt name, or if you want to remove the element with the class. Okay, class name. So like this you can specify that individually. And next, empty method. So remove method and empty method. So to remove the child elements from the selected element. To remove the child elements from the selected element. Okay, so we can use this empty method. So assume that example. So we have div tag. Okay, so this div tag contains some information like this is my text. And this div also we have some 2 3 paragraphs or span tags, any content, okay, any elements is there. Okay, this is text paragraph in the div. So to empty the div tag, you want to remove the content from the div tag. Okay, this remove method, empty method, remove the content of the selected element. Okay, with this child elements also, only div tag is will be there, so without any content in the div. So if you use empty method, empty btn empty dot click div3 dot empty. Okay, so take one div3 tag id equal to div3, and this div tag contains some information. Okay, this is the content, so we can use this uh, some elements. Okay, and next span. Okay, so this div3 tag contains some information, and we have html elements like bold b element and the span element. So I want to empty this div tag. Okay, I don't want to remove the entire div element, so I want to remove the chain elements of the div tag. I want to remove the content from the div tag only, so the div tag will be empty when you click on this button. Then this is our div tag. So when you click on this empty button, div3 tag is there, okay, but there is no content. One second. CSS manipulation. CSS manipulation, nothing but uh, you can add CSS classes, or you can add CSS properties to the selected HTML elements. Okay, using JQuery. So once we have the four methods to add CSS classes and to add CSS properties. So that is add class and add class method to add the uh, CSS class to the HTML element. Okay, use this method to add CSS class to the HTML element. And remove class. Remove class removes the one or more classes from the selected element. And toggle class. Toggle class also works between adding and removing classes from the selected elements and the CSS method. CSS method, using this method, we can add style attributes. So using this concept, concept, you can add CSS classes or properties to the selected elements. So we have four methods: class, add class, using this method, so we can add or remove, and we can add one or more classes, one or more classes to the selected elements, selected elements. In syntax, dollar symbol, selected dot add class. So C is the caps here in this method. So directly we can add uh, class name to the selected element. So div class. Okay. So this is class name. So this class name already implemented in CSS. Okay, we have to implement this class in CSS. So that class name, we can add that class name to the elements using JQuery add class method. And second one, remove class. Using this method, we can remove CSS. Uh, we can remove one or more CSS classes one or more CSS classes from the selected elements. Syntax, selector dot remove class and specify that class name. Okay, div class name. Next, toggle class. Third one, toggle class. This method works between adding and removing classes. This method toggles between add class, remove class, the remove class methods. from the selected element. Selected elements. And the syntax, selector toggle class, and div class name. If the class is not there, so the toggle class method adds that class name to the element. Okay, if the class is there, if the class is already uh, added to the element, so the toggle class method removes that class name. And finally, CSS method. Using this method, you can add style property, style attribute, style attribute to the selected element. Okay, syntax, dollar symbol, selector dot css, in the CSS method, use flower brackets to apply multiple CSS properties like color, okay, color, red color, and comma, mm, background color. The text color is white color, and background color is red color. Okay, so like this we can apply multiple CSS properties to the selected HTML element using this method. So, directly we can write CSS properties here, but this in these three methods. So already we have to implement this class name. We have to create the classes in CSS, and after that use that class name to add selected HTML elements. CSS manipulation. Add class, demo class. So take this four buttons. This four, add class, add class, btn, add class. Second one is btn, demo class, demo class, toggle class, btn, toggle, and btn css method, css. So already we have one div tag, and this div tag contains some information. Okay, and write some CSS class, my div class. Okay, this is the class name, and background color red color, text color is white, padding 10 pixel, and margin also 10 pixel. So these are the CSS properties. So class is created. So when you click on this button add class, so this class is added to div. So the div is div id is div1. So next copy this one. Okay, so add class. So selector is as div1, add class. So in this double quotes we need to specify the class name, so which is already we created in CSS. So now run this example. So there is no CSS styles. Okay, so when you click on this button, CSS properties and CSS classes are applied. Okay, div height and width also we can specify. Height 200 pixels and width 200 pixels. Okay, CSS class is applied. So after add the class, when you click on remove class button, so this classes will be removed. This class name will be removed from selected div element. Remove class button id. So class name is remove class. Okay, refresh this, add class, and click on remove class. So class is removed. So same thing is toggle also. Same like toggle. So toggle method toggles between add class and remove class. So now run this example. So here we don't have any classes, any classes applied. When you click on this button, so class is applied. Again you can click on toggle class button. The class is removed. If the class is applied, so class is removed from the selected element. If the class is applied already, class is removed. If class is not there, class is added when you click on the button. Next, CSS. So take one paragraph here. Example text. So I want to add some CSS property. Paragraph dot CSS So color first, red color. Next to font size, 20 pixels. Okay. So these two added. So refresh this example and click on this CSS button. Okay. So font size is increased and color is also applied. So these are the four methods: add class, remove class, toggle class, and CSS. So next one concept pending. So these are the concepts for today.